This is Spiritual Lifting with V. Let me get your soul swollen. Peace. First off, I would like to say peace and blessings to everyone out there. Thank you for tuning in. Today, let's get the vibe right. And I'm going to talk to you about vibratory connections. In this life that we live, we go through a lot of different energy exchanges and energy changes. And I'm going to be talking about high vibrational people, low vibrational people, places and things. Have you ever in your life encountered something or someone that it was just right? And I mean, I'm talking about on a spiritual level, on an energetic level, where the vibrations were just such that it was just perfect, where you just know what the person needs. You just know what the situation calls for. And you can sit around and just not say anything, and it's just correct. Well, if you've had those type of experiences, you probably had a great vibrational connection. If you think about it, especially in like personal relationships, where you can come around someone and you're high vibrational, and when they leave, you feel drained, you feel chaos, you feel depressed, you start going through a lot of different emotional feelings that maybe you weren't feeling that before because you're high vibrational. You feel confusion. Well, this is because you have absorbed their low vibration and they have absorbed your high vibration. And what I mean by this is, upon encountering an energetic body this way, everything seems fine. Everything seems to connect. Well, but they're not necessarily a high vibrational person. But it seems like that in the beginning. Well, what this is they're mirroring you. So you can encounter this person, and then they now have begun to mirror your energy. And in the beginning, it seems great. But then once you have gone away from this person, you have distanced yourself from this person, you go back up, and then the next time they come around, they may have complaints. They may tell you about a lot of things about confusion. It's always something that seems that it's on a negative level, and they keep coming to you, and you get more and more drained. Well, if you start and continue to stay around that energetic body, yes, you will stay on a high vibrational level, but then in the end, what begins to happen is you start taking in their low vibrational frequencies. And once you start taking in their low vibrational frequencies, which you won't notice, because the fact will happen is that you will start to think that this is just normal, that this is just okay, that it seems right, okay? And this is because now, instead of them mirroring you, you begin to mirror them. This is not something that you really want to get into, because the longer you go along, the more that you go along, you will begin to find that your energetic level will start lowering and lowering. But this will be a slow transference of your energetic body. And you won't really recognize or understand this because it will just seem like it's a normalcy. So we want to separate ourselves from those type of energetic bodies. And you can tell these things by the way that a person, the things that they do, the people they are around. Are you hanging around people, places, or things where it's just low vibrational energy? If you do that, this starts to transfer and morph and become you. It will lower your consciousness. It will lower your subconsciousness. Why would you actually want less in life? Why would you want to be low vibrational? Some people are fine with that because at times that can seem like it's a safe place. It seems like it's a safe space because you're used to it. You're used to these low vibrational interactions. And even though you can be the most positive person in the world, you can help people, you can do all these things, you can pray, you can be into your faith, it doesn't mean that a person is not low vibration. These vibratory connections could happen where a high vibrational person and a low vibrational person come into contact just based off of a commonality at a time, because they are at this, maybe the high vibrational person is actually at a low vibrational place at the time, and they're just needing something, they're just wanting something, they're just wanting that thing, which is maybe companionship, which is maybe if it's family, maybe it's that familial relationship. And so you get this connection, and that's when it comes in. When you're dealing with this low vibrational, you can tend to have a sort of thing where you end up coming into a place where you can be negatively attacked by negative energy bodies, and not really understanding why. Why is this happening to me? Why is every time that it seems like I'm around this particular person, or I go to this particular place, or I do this particular thing, that all of a sudden these negative energy bodies come to me? Well, it's a good factor, and it's a good telltale sign that no matter how good a person is, no matter how kind they are, no matter how much that you think that they seem like they are doing good things, you're around a negative energy body. And that low vibrational source, which doesn't always reveal itself in the beginning, is feeding on you and bleeding into you. Excuse me. So what you have to do is separate yourself, and then you have to use discernment and awareness to understand, wait a minute, and think to yourself, every time that I go to this place, or I'm around this certain set of people, or I do these certain amount of things, it seems like this negative energy source comes and it feeds on me, or it's attacking me. But every time I'm away from the situation, this doesn't happen. Well, it's pretty cut, dry, and clear. You have been around something that's extremely low vibrational, and you don't want to put that in your life. Nothing wrong with it. A lot of times high vibrational people think that they can rise low vibrational people or low vibrational situations up. But in doing so, you only continue to drain yourself. You only continue to drain the energetic body. You only continue to damage your subconscious and your conscious level. Because now you have to build that back. You have to build back up your vibration. But if you keep going into the situation and going into the situation, and again, if you're constantly seeing negative things around the places, people, or things, every time you're encountering them, then it remains as such. It remains as a constant negativity. It remains as something that where you can't continue to shift up, but you remain at a certain level. Think about times in your life when you've been at a certain place. You were going up. You had ambitions, you had goals, you had all of these things, and you were actually making all your motions forward to achieve them, to accomplish them. And then you get around a certain people, places, or things, and then you become content. You stop desiring. You're just okay with okay, which is not okay. The Creator doesn't want just okay. We're placed here to achieve the highest so we can influence, and we can get others to the highest. And now you're stagnating. Now you're unhappy. Now you're confused. Now you're depressed. And you think, I got all these things. I've been accomplishing all this stuff. What is the issue? Well, the issue is that you have gotten on a low vibrational plane. That low vibrational plane is something that definitely takes you to a place you really don't want to reside in for a long period of time. It's not something that will help you. It's not something that will continue to gain shifting upwards instead of shifting downwards. It's something that will affect your subconscious level. Then you got to think about when you're already vibrating high. And there's just those people in existence that where you will end up going higher. I mean, that person, that place, that thing that takes you to an upper level, where your imagination, it expands, where you have, where the ideals bubble, those things that, and those people and those places that allowed you to get to a higher state, in a higher level, to accomplish something, to figure out your dreams, your goals, and then you actually accomplish them. Vibratory. When you vibrate and you encounter someone that is vibrating high as well, the only thing that happens is you vibrate higher. Positive and negatives do attract. But a positive and a positive, boom, explosion. Negative and negative repel. Well, over time, this is why people end up, when they're dealing with people on a lower vibrational level, what ends up happening is you get low, they get low, and now the problems start. If you're going to places, you're dealing with things, and this is family, whatever, it starts to repel. It starts to become negative. That's because the vibration is low. If you're already high vibrational and you're lowering yourself to a lower vibration, and then you're mirroring each other on a lower vibrational level, then that starts to make you repel. A good tester and a telltale sign of this one is that if you feel like you potentially may be around low vibrational, you separate yourself, and then you separate yourself for a while, and you continue to go up, you continue to rise up, you continue to go to a higher level and start achieving goals again and start making things happen. Well, that tells you may have been dealing with something that was in a low vibrational level. Nothing wrong with it. Two low vibrationals can exist and coexist in harmony. It may not be like a happiness or whatever. Some people enjoy the chaos. Some people enjoy the confusion. Some people want that in their life. But if you, as a high vibrational person, you would never want that. You would never want that, because it would be this loss, this empty feeling, this undecided feeling, this feeling of I don't know what I'm going to do, this unsurety. I can say that in this life, you definitely have to have a discernment. You definitely shouldn't accept lower level things, because this is not why we're created. All the great prophets, they vibrated on a higher level. And this is where we want to be. And the stories that are told about them is stories based on the fact that this is a lesson that we should learn. If you want lower in life, if you want to keep digging down to the low depths, that's fine. You can live your existence how you want. But why would you not want the best for your own existence? I can't imagine going through life and just dealing constantly with chaos, or people who have constant chaos going on, or putting myself in situations and going to places where there's constant chaos, depression, things that would just tear your consciousness down. If you're around people, places, or things, and they're not raising your consciousness level, they're not the things that inspire you. They're not the things that are helping you rise up, but it seems like it's constantly pulling you back. You're dealing with low vibrational. It's not about money. It's not about what you're constantly accomplishing as far as accolades. But we're talking about the spirit body, your inner verse, your inner being, your subconscious, and your consciousness. You have to allow yourself to grow. If you're in a situation, whether it's people, places, or things, and it's just not going and growing, but you're going and growing, you're dealing with low vibrational. My advice, separate yourself. I've had a lot of experiences in life, and I've dealt with a lot of things, and I've dealt with a lot of good people, but the vibrations were low. Upon separating myself, everything just went back up. I wasn't misled. I wasn't depressed. I wasn't confused. There wasn't any chaos. You can't just settle in this existence. The Creator never wanted us to settle in this existence. The Creator doesn't settle when it comes to us. Thank you, Father. It's a beautiful day, right? So beautiful. We have to want more for ourselves. Take yourself, your consciousness, and your subconsciousness and rise it to a higher vibrational place. And you'll see, when the Creator allows you to be fortunate enough to be placed around high vibrationals, take that offer. Because if you place yourself within that low vibrational field, only over time will your vibrational energy be drained and your energetic body will start to become low vibration. And you will be subject to be attacked by negative vibrations, negative entities, and negative energy bodies. If I'm around a bunch of people or I'm around a person and it just seems right and the connection is there, and I'm talking about on a spiritual level, and it seems like every time I connect with this person, I come up with something new that's positive. I feel better. It's positive. I feel spiritually connected. That's positive. I know I'm dealing with a high vibration. People, you have to feel lucky in this existence to ever encounter that. Because in the times that we're living in, the conscious level is constantly being attacked. And there's a lot of people out here and a lot of things and a lot of places that are on such a low vibrational level that it's just seeking to drain you, to leave you complacent, to let you settle. That when years down the line, when you look back at everything, missed opportunities. It's not to say that high vibrationals can't ever experience low vibrational experiences. This is the counterbalance, the compensation that ends up happening in this existence. Well, that has to happen because the universe has to be balanced. Nothing wrong with negative instances because this is where we learn lessons. But as I always say, how long do you want to stay in a negative space, a negative place, or do a negative thing? You're only going to end up sad in the end. You're going to only end up feeling ripped off in the end. Because the negativity is for the lessons and the lesson is the blessing. But once the lesson is learned, you need to step away. You need to step away, reassess, get back to that high vibrational state. Because there's so many things that I could go into this about foods, about what you do for your body, about what you do for your health, about what you feed your mind, that mind food. But if you're feeling held back in this existence and you're just around certain people, places, or things, step away from them, step back, take a look, watch how your existence does, and then watch how their existence does, and it will tell you all the answers you need to know. Was I mirroring low vibrational, and they were mirroring my high vibrational, and draining my vibrational energies? Or was it the other way around? If you step away and you come back to it and there's no improvements, and it's still the same kind of chaos, depression, drama, confusion, doubt, then you know. It's kind of a deep subject matter and it's a deep topic. And this could go on for hours, and there's so many ways to look at this. And I'm giving you just kind of like the short, quick version, because this is for your own self-discovery. But do a vibrational check. Just because you vibe, what vibrations are you getting? And why are you getting those vibrations? Why are you encountering those things? And what is it bringing to your existence? You really have to stop, look, listen, see with the eye, not the eyes, and pay attention. If you're feeling drawn in, you may just be mirroring low vibration. Because remember, positive and negatives attract. but it doesn't mean that's what you need. And if you're satisfied with dealing with a low vibrational field and that's what you need in your life, then you just may actually be on a low vibrational level, and that's okay. Because this universe, our world, and our existence has to be balanced. So for every person that resides in that low vibrational field, there is a person that is residing in the high vibrational field. Just be cautious not to get yourself caught up constantly in a low vibrational field to where you're trying to raise them up and they're only lowering and lowering you. You should never leave from any encounters feeling lesser, feeling lower, feeling that you left that situation not at a high level. If you go, again, and you're around them and you feel drained, you feel like everything has just been taken out of you on a constant basis. Again, high vibrationals can have low vibrational situations. It's just that they don't stay that way because it has to balance out. Nothing can be 100%. You can't always be good with the bad. But if you see that consistency in that low vibrational, or you see that consistency in that high vibrational, this is waves, up and down, up and down. You want to try to get to that straight line. Separate yourself, because it's a huge factor. On the outside could be good, all the actions and everything, but inside in that subconscious is what you're feeling. I won't go much further about this subject matter, but I would love some correspondence on this one. I know it's a bit vague on this one, but there's so many direct things that we talked about. But I would love to know about any experiences that anyone may have felt about vibrational high or low experiences. And have you recently been feeling these vibrational experiences as to where you're not being taken higher, but you're being brought lower, whether that's by familial, personal, or otherwise, your environment, people, places, and things. And if you have been vibrating higher, I'd like to know. And I'd like to know, did you feel the shift? Because it was a great shift that happened recently. And I've definitely shifted up. Take time, observe, use discernment. I only want love, happiness, peace, and joy for everyone. Move through the world with an open heart and open spirit. Keep your vibrations high, not low. And if you encounter low vibrational, take it as a warning from the beginning. And as usual, the children are the future and we are the past. But by moving with a higher vibration and keeping the low vibrations around, away from our high vibrations, we can all be the future. This has been Spiritual Lifting with V. Peace. Let me get your soul swole.